What's going on, man?
Hey, how are we?
Dude,
How's it?
dude, that was sick, man. I appreciate you reaching out, bro. This is
Yeah, I
fun.
know. Here, I'll just kind of give a background. Like I said, I kind of been interviewing a couple people through that's in college athletics, and just kind of getting a glimpse at what they're doing and how their lives are going, and advice they could give back to college kids or recent grads. In a time where I'm kind of in between jobs, I just thought this was a great idea to kind of reach out to others and give advice, not just from me, but if I do post these little background. But how's it going? How's Dallas? How's it
Oh
going
man,
moving down
it's
there?
it's been a ride. I moved down here last June, so I've been in Dallas for officially, what is that, a year and a month or so. So
Mhm.
I can officially call myself a Texan.
Yeah, yeah,
No, man, it's been a wild ride. I graduated from UNL and literally just moved straight down here last summer. Accepted a job at Old Dominion for the freight line company. Was
yeah,
working there for about up until late, I think it was late December, and I was working night shifts. I was quite frankly doing just not what I wanted to do at the time,
yeah,
and I woke up one morning, and I always kind of had in the back of my mind that I wanted to get back into football at some point. I just never really knew how or who to
mhm,
ask or to reach out to get into back into it, whether that was coaching, whether that was recruiting.
yeah,
And I just started researching on my own, man. I started just digging deep into how to get to this to the college stage, especially without even playing college ball, because I only the highest level I played football was high school. I didn't play in college,
yeah.
so I was trying to find ways just to get my foot in the door. And the first thing I did was just shoot emails to I'd say about 35 to 40 director of recruitings of D1 universities. And
Yeah.
man, the first one, the first one to reach it back out to me was SMU, who I lived 5 minutes away at the time. So I was like, this is
Let's go.
perfect.
Yeah.
And I called my dad one day, and I was still at the freight line company at the time, and I was like, Dad,
Mhm.
this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna make a career change. And he was like, no hesitation, like let's go, like go all in.
Yeah.
So just like that kind of green light from my father was huge.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, been at SMU since. Been a recruiting personnel specialist. Got to meet a lot of great people, a lot of great players and coaches. So that was kind of the beginning of it.
Yeah.
That was kind of the start.
Yeah, so take us through kind of a day in the life of what you're doing now. You're recruiting specialist for SMU. Kind of walk through what you're doing day to day, and kind of just go from there.
For sure. So, kind of just a day in the life for me, it kind of depends on the period of time because for the recruiting calendar, I don't know if you knew this, but for a D1 recruiting calendar, there is a quiet period. So there's four
Hmm.
periods. I'll go through each one of them.
Yeah,
There's a quiet period which pretty much runs through the beginning of March through mid-April, and it's also most of June as well, where you can make in-person recruiting contacts, but only on your campus. You can't go out to their school. You can't go out.
yeah,
So there's no off-campus recruiting contacts that can be made. And then there's a dead period, which runs from June to I think, let's see, what does it run through? I think it runs through I think mid-August and then December through the beginning of January, where we
yeah,
can't make in-person contacts on or off campus. It's a dead period. You can't
yeah,
do nothing.
yeah,
And then there's an evaluation and contact period. These are the last two, where an evaluation period, you can we can get involved in off-campus activities to assess the playing ability. That's where the evaluation comes in of a prospective athlete. And then there's no in-person off-campus recruiting contacts to be made where in contact period, your athletic department staff can make in-person off-campus recruiting contacts and evals.
yeah,
But just in general, my day-to-day activities mostly include, watching film. I think that's the bulk of it is watching film.
yeah, yeah,
That's more the personnel side of things. The recruiting is having the kids up, having the recruits coming up on campus, showing the hospitality, going, giving them tours of the
mhm,
campus, having them up on, fall summer activities like 7-on-7 camps or just any camp, any summer camps we have. We'll have some kids up there. Actually, we'll have hundreds. We'll have a lot of
yeah,
recruits coming up. Yeah, that's kind of the bulk of it is watching the film
yeah,
and finding the guys. But I would say just gathering scouting reports, analyzing the recruits' stats, coordinating the visits with our director of player personnel. We kind of help them out with that. Then coaches travel. We'll help the logistics of the coaches traveling. You know,
Yeah.
which schools.
How many of there are you? How many specialists there are you?
So there's about, I don't know the exact number, but for personnel, I'd say there's around 10 to 12, and then recruiting there's
Gotcha.
like 8. So I'd say there's around 20 total interns.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, other than the coaches traveled, the summer camps, it's a little bit more different in season because I haven't actually been with the recruiting staff in season. I've only been off season, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a little bit different for me. But I
Yeah.
do know that in season is a little bit different, as in the focus shifts more to game visits, reevaluating commits,
Yeah.
monitoring their performance throughout the year, the guys who have committed,
Yeah.
evaluating transfer portal guys. Obviously, transfer portal is huge in this day and age.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got the spring portal as well now too. So it's not just the
Yeah.
December one, it's the spring one as well. So
Yeah.
that's a big part as well. And then yeah, the transfer portal is critical.
Yeah.
And yeah, just scouting opponents, especially in season, maintaining the relationships with recruits and their parents and their coaches and yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely big time right now because I talked to associate athletic director at Arizona State. His name's Vince Volpe, and he was all about retention. It's not just about recruitment now, but it's about retention, and you gotta keep them there.
Yes.
You gotta keep
100%.
them honest and making sure that they're staying committed because nowadays guys are just flipping on a dime for probably more money in the and each case, but just keeping them there, I feel like it's just super important. Probably priority number one.
100%.
It's got to be just super hard now with money flipping and
Oh yeah.
people are like, families are probably talking in ears like, hey, you can go get 20,000 more dollars or however much more money somewhere else, and you can't really do much because you're like, we give you all you got.
Yeah. That's why Sarkeesian, he preached at the Coaches Association this week. He preached to the high school coaches that, hey, remind these kids of their value, like the values, like their
Yeah.
family values and what actually matters to them. Because there's going to be agents now that are going to these kids, and there's going to be a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
bribing going on, a lot of outside forces. And it's going to be really important to just remind these kids because they're just young kids. They're in high school.
Yeah.
They're 16,
Yeah.
17, 18 years old. They don't know better. So we really got to
Mhm.
preach to them what matters to them. And yeah, man, it's a different day and age, so it's
For sure.
important to not only build the relationship with the recruit, but it's even more important to build relationships with their parents and their high school coaches because they have just as much influence as anybody else because the high school coaches will sometimes come up with the recruit on visits. So
Yeah.
it's really important to connect with the coach as well. That's something that I believe I'm very good at. I'm a personable, you know, sociable guy, and
Nice.
that comes off pretty easy to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how I engage and interact with recruits. You know,
Mhm.
show them build out a blueprint for them. How can I show themselves in the future at our school? What do they want to study here? Do they want to start right away? Do they want to be a two deep right away? You're trying to put a picture in their head of them at the school. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of my approach to it, and the campus as well too. You know,
Sure.
campuses are huge these kids as well, and we have a beautiful campus, so it's a little bit easier for me to
Yeah.
give them those
Yeah.
tours and stuff like that. But nah, man,
It's also like you're getting you could get like a 3-star kid from a town of 500, and then you can get like a 4-star kid that's just money hungry or like he's just ready for the big times.
yeah.
You
Oh,
definitely
we get
it
those.
seems like you have to balance it pretty well and like making sure that you're kind of on their playing field and making sure that they're, yeah, like you said, hospitable.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so take us through like what's that visit like? Have you been on many visits? I'm guessing you've probably been on like hundreds, like on campus visits.
Yeah. So, are you talking about like the recruits coming up and visiting, or me
Yeah,
going out? Yeah.
yeah, no,
So
them coming up.
yeah, so there's unofficial obviously, and there's official. Officials where we
Yeah,
have a selective amount of kids. You know, those are our top guys.
yeah,
And that'll be like 2 or 3 weekends depending on how many we're really shooting for.
mhm,
But no, yeah, we'll have them up. Their families will come up. We'll have dinner with them. We'll give them tours. We'll watch a highlight tape video. You know, just spend time with these kids and really just paint a picture in their head of what it's going to be like at SMU.
mhm,
And then I would say for unofficial visits, it's a little bit more, I don't know, I guess you could say casual, because there's so many kids that come up on unofficial visits. Like you'll have
Yeah.
hundreds. Like for instance, like at our spring practices, we had like literally like 200 to 300 recruits just standing on the sidelines, bro. Like yeah. So
Awesome.
that's where it's a lot more team focused. And yeah, the visits are a lot of fun. I enjoy that, man. That was because that was my first time I was dipping my toe in the water of the visits this year, and
Yeah.
man, I had a lot of
Yeah.
fun with it, and I built some valuable relationships with these kids.
For sure. Yeah. So, to kind of start it or take us back through it, how do you're watching film, you're breaking down their film. How are you getting that film? Who's giving it to you? Are you going out and grabbing a huddle, or what's that look like nowadays?
Yeah, so sometimes, so what our GM preaches is are kind of the five pillars of recruiting is identify the player, evaluate, your marketing, and then your customer service, and then your onboarding. So to just kind of
Yeah.
go through each kind of step is identifying. Obviously, you got to find the kid, and you got to know what the needs are on your team. So you got to know your roster. You know, we may not, like this year for 2026 class, we didn't really need to go out and find a QB. We have our
Yeah.
guy, we have our redshirt freshman in Ty Hawkins,
Mhm.
he's gonna be the guy after Jennings. So we
Yeah.
didn't technically need to go out and get a QB. So we're a little bit more lighter on the QB kind of scouting.
Yeah.
Whereas in D line, that's where we're kind of really going heavy on.
Mhm.
It's really identifying what your needs are, um, and then you're evaluating the kid. And yeah, that's what we mainly use is huddle
Mhm.
and kind of just going through. Sorry about that. Going
No, you're
through
good.
each, especially for each position, you got to know what traits your position coach is looking for because he might
For
want
sure.
something different than Auburn's D line coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my edge coach might want something different than Tennessee's edge coach. So you got to know what your exact position coach is looking for, and then find those traits in these kids and project. Exactly who they are, what you project them to be.
Mhm.
That's kind of the evaluating side, and the customer service, the marketing, the onboarding. That's a lot of the recruiting. That's when we have the kids up on campus. That's when you're selling the program. Then onboarding is obviously when they're signing the papers, and that's more like you said when the retention comes in. It's because you got to
Yeah.
maintain. You got to maintain the. You can't just sign them and commit, and then okay, yeah, see, like cool, you signed. I'm just gonna
Yeah, you're good.
worried about
You're
you.
good for 6 months. You're definitely not getting talked to right now.
Yeah, see, like some schools do that, and it's like no wonder they're transferring right away. Like
Yeah.
you gotta keep that relationship going. Because a lot of the times too, especially if you're in a Power Four school, you'll get some out of state kids, and they're away from family, they're away from close ones,
Mhm.
and if they don't have someone there that's like gonna be there for them, it's easy for them to go back, like go home or go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
for
man.
sure. At the end of the day, yeah, like you said, there are just 17 to 18-year-olds. So all they
Yeah.
know is who they know and where they know. So it's
Hmm.
like if you're not comfortable or if you're not getting followed up on and reaching back out, then yeah, I could definitely see them just coming back to a smaller school near them or just some bigger school that's closer. But definitely get that point. Definitely get that point. We got any Blue Valley commits this year?
Oh man,
What are we
no, we
looking
do
at from the
not.
Tigers?
We do not, man.
We recruiting hard in Kansas.
I'm trying my best, man, down there.
So
I'm the
I
Kansas
mean,
pipeline.
yeah, no, exactly. Got to get some boys from Kansas. Hey, KU's been doing well in Kansas. I've
Oh
seen
man, I know. I've been
they've
talking to
been doing
some of
really well.
their staffers over there on their recruiting team.
Yeah, yeah. What's that like? Just reaching out for like you said, or you went to Nebraska, so you like reaching out to them, or you kind
Yeah,
of
so
you
actually,
bouncing ideas off other people.
yeah, oh my gosh, 100%. And we also have the recruiting and personnel symposium coming up too. And man, there's going to
Yeah,
be hundreds of coaches, personnel guys, I mean, like scouts and just, football professionals that are going to be there. So I'm
yeah,
excited to, meet a lot of those people and learn from them, how they scout, how they deal with NIL, just everything that goes into it. And then, yeah, with KU, that was actually the very first team that I reached out to when I decided I wanted to do this. Um,
yeah.
But then SMU contacted me, and I was 5 minutes
Yeah.
away at the time, and I was like, you can't beat that, you know? And it's a rising
No,
program. Like, you cannot,
for
there's
sure.
nothing better.
Just join the ACC. Yeah.
Just joined the ACC. We just made the college football playoff. Like, we're in a very good spot. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, man.
What's that kind of just join the ACC, you just made the college playoffs, that momentum's on the rise. Can you feel that? And can the recruits feel that
Oh
when you're
my
just
gosh.
talking to them? Or, yeah.
Yes, 100. Every single day you feel that momentum. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
rising every single day because we keep rising the standard. That's the key is you got to keep rising the standard. And we want to
Yeah.
we want to have a top 10 recruiting class. Like I have a vision for our team. That's the key. Like you got to have a vision for your team. It's not like I want to be great. I do, but like I want the team to be great. Like first and foremost. And like that's the key. You got to have like an outlook of the team and where you want to see it in 5 years, where you want to see it in a year from now, where you want to see it tomorrow. That's why you got to show up every
Yeah.
single day and be like, how can I make this team better today? Like, what am I doing today to make this team better? That's my
Yeah.
approach to it. So,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. When you're reaching out, who's the contact? You going to the parents first? You going to the player? How do you get that contact info, and how do you get that initial conversation rolling?
yeah, so it's usually through Twitter DM, or if we have their
Yeah.
number in our system, we'll just text them. Um, obviously, we have to follow by the rules, by the NCAA rules. So they have to be a junior or above. And then, yeah, just hitting them up, having them up. We there's some kids that are just freaks of nature, and you
Yeah.
just you
Yeah.
immediately offer.
Yeah.
But then there's other kids that you really need to have them up on person and get because it's different, when you have them up and you're
Yeah.
watching them actually cut, watching them bend, watching them catch passes. It's different. So we
Yeah.
preach that we want to have them up on campus for a visit first.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm sure those Texas boys down there are a lot bigger too. Like they say,
Mhm.
everything's bigger in Texas.
It's 100%.
What's the in state compared to out of state? What are you working with normally, or are you more in state since you're a little newer, or are you more out of state getting pipelines, or what's that look like for you?
Yeah, so going in to SMU, I knew it was going to be Texas focused.
Gotcha.
But what we really prioritize first is the DFW area. Get the top guys in DFW. We want to target those
Yeah.
guys and then go outward towards San Antonio, Austin, the rest of Texas, Houston. And then man, those Georgia and Louisiana kids, different. They're just
Yeah.
different.
I don't doubt
So
it.
so yeah, it's Louisiana, it's Georgia, it's Tennessee, it's Mississippi, it's Florida, it's California. Those are kind
Yeah.
of the secondary, if you know what I mean. And then
Hmm.
you'll have kids like me that come in from the Midwest, where I'm from Kansas and Nebraska, and I have a little bit of a
Yeah.
pipeline there, so I can help out. I can help out a little bit more on the Midwest side. So everyone
Yeah.
kind of has their own little pipeline.
Yeah. Do you go back to Kansas area more, and Lincoln?
Oh gosh, I haven't been to Lincoln, and I actually have been. I visited Omaha to see some family, because we've been on
Yeah.
break this past month. So I went to go see some family in Omaha, and no, yeah, I haven't been on campus or in Lincoln in a long. It's ever since I went to school there. But
Yeah.
it's a great school, and um, they're doing well in recruiting right now too, and they're expected to have a bigger year. They're always hyped up around this time of season, so we'll
Yeah, I
see.
know
We'll see how Ryle.
they really are. They have that one big game at the start of the year. Then what's the outlook on Dylan Raiola? You think he's going to do well?
Oh man, I mean, sky's the limit for him, dude. Like, obviously he has a lot of haters because of the Mahomes thing, but um, dude, you can just see he has it. Like, there's some players that you're
Yeah,
watching, you're like, he's got something in him, and like,
yeah, that's true.
I think he
He's got
has
that
Heisman
build too.
potential, as well as our quarterback Kevin Jennings. So.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. What are some challenges or kind of some hardships? Obviously, you're not going to get every recruit in the book. You may like a guy and then he just decides to go somewhere else. But what's that like, and how do you kind of do that? Is it just next man mentality, or what's that process look like?
Yeah, so we'll have like those immediate offer kids. We'll have those next up kids where if you can tell they're just they're not high on their board, that we're not higher on their board. Those usually it's pretty transparent and you can kind of see which kids those are. You will go to the next man up. And then there's the revisits, Those are the kids that, we think he's raw. We think he's raw this year. There's a lot to build on. He's a developmental guy. Might be young. He might be a 2029 kid. He might be a 2028. But
Yeah.
those are the kids we revisit, a few months down the road when he's got some clips from camp, or we get to actually watch him in season. 'Cause a lot of these 2028s don't even have film on their huddle. So you got to wait until they
Yeah.
actually play, like play
Yeah.
in high school and have some film on there. So yeah, you hit it on the spot. There's the offer level kids, the dudes, and then there's the next man ups.
Yeah. How are these guys committing at like freshman year? You see these guys commit freshman year of high school. You can't technically talk to them, but are they just like, I'm gonna go here? Or,
Yeah,
I know it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare.
it
but
is rare, and some of the times those are the kids that they've known all along. Like that's the school they've dreamed of going to, or it's
Yeah.
just I want to hype myself up and I want to commit early and young. You see a lot of times that a year or two goes by and they flip to LSU,
Yeah.
or they flip to
Yeah.
somewhere else. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but
hmm
because I think you gotta, especially if you're getting offered that young, especially at big schools, like the offers are gonna keep coming, man. Especially if you're doing what you're doing, you're gonna put in work and you're gonna develop. Just
Yeah.
wait to build up some more offers and find out which school actually values you and needs you. So yeah,
Yeah. You see these guys, I mean, sophomore year of high school, and I'm like, dude, you got so much time, and
yeah.
you're gonna get either better or worse, and they might not even want you anymore. So they're playing a risky game. I feel like right there.
Yes.
Give me who was the best tape you've seen since in the time you've been there. Who's got the best film you've seen?
Gosh. You want
They
to give me a
could have
position?
committed to SMU or they went somewhere else.
I would say I'll give you a 2026, and then
Yeah,
I'll give you 2027. So for
because
2020,
I just want this personally. I want this personally so I can go look at it.
yeah. So Jalen Brewster, 2027 D tackle, dude is a freaking monster, man. He's been rising really fast in the rankings. He's got offers from pretty much everywhere in the country. I had him up on campus, hosted him. That was a cool moment. He's a great kid, and it wasn't necessarily the tape I watched last year, but it's just like what I know what the tape's gonna look like this year. Like, watch out for Jalen Brewster, D tackle,
Yeah.
Cedar Hill High School, Texas. So that's the 2027, and then 2026. Oh gosh, I would say Ja'Kai Anderson. I really liked his film. He was one of our wide receiver recruits. Man, he's got the twitch. He's got the home run ability. He's gonna
Yeah.
be. I think he's gonna be a good returner as well. He's got the speed. He's got the home run ability. He's got the hands. He can make you miss in a phone booth too. Gosh, I'm trying to think of a good running back that just had insane film. KJ Edwards. I think he should have been a 5-star, but he's a 4-star.
Yeah,
He's at Carthage, Texas. He committed to Texas A&M, but man, this dude, agile, power. He can run you over, run by you. He's sudden with his movements. You never knew what his next move was going to be, and that's key for a running back, especially.
Yeah.
And man, yeah, you gotta go watch some KJ Edwards too.
yeah. It's got to get you fired up to just see these tapes, and you're like, I want all these dudes. Like they just all look insane, and then you get these dudes that are just like you see their film, and you're just like, oh, let's go get them right now.
Dude, what's crazy is like they're getting bigger. Like these kids are like just getting bigger. Like I wanna do a project at some point and just figure out what the height and weight of a high school, let's say like top 50 O lineman or whatever from 2015 to now. I guarantee you they're gonna be like a couple inches taller. The weight's gonna be like 20 pounds more. Like these kids are massive, massive kids. And yeah, football's in a good place.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. You're seeing these guys on like House of Highlights, and they're like 8th graders, 6'8", 300, and you're just like, he's like Michael Lauren
Dude,
blindside.
Evan Goodwin, offensive tackle commit. He's 6'7", 3, I think 30.
It's like, what are you eating? Like, how are you?
Yeah.
I don't get how you're doing. I mean, where is he from? Texas?
No, he's actually an Arkansas kid. Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, the South in general, just everything's bigger down there, I
I
guess.
know, dude.
lot more home cooking, I bet. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. I just got a couple more things to
Yeah.
kind of talk about, but appreciate the time here. And so, going back even before at SMU, you had a couple stops just to kind of, I guess, get you ready and get you prepared for being a recruit. So, walk us through the. I believe you're a scout researcher, and then you're at like a scouting academy.
Yeah,
Kind of
so
walk us through those.
those two actually go hand in hand. So the telemetry sports scout researcher job went hand in hand
Yeah,
with scouting academy because that was the software that we used to watch the NFL games, and we got full
gotcha.
film. Like you could pick every angle. There's multiple angles of every single play throughout any
Oh,
game of the
sick.
season, and it went back to like, gosh, I think 2012. So you could go back and watch
Dang,
like a Ben Roethlisberger game, like week 6, and like watch all of his home run plays. It was awesome.
that's
It was a really cool experience. But to begin it, what I did was actually I was going through because director of player personnel is my main goal. So I was looking up on
mhm.
LinkedIn all the I would say hundreds of director of player personnels and looking at their path. What did they do
Yeah,
before they got there? Gosh, I'd say a large majority of them had this same thing, and it was scouting academy. I was like, "What is this scouting academy?" I see it on every
yeah,
on every LinkedIn. Like, what is going on? I looked into it, and Dan Hatman, he's the instructor of it. He was in the NFL for 12 years, and he kind of helped me out in writing reports for these NFL players. You'd pick your position timeline. So I started with defense first. So I started with DBs, D
mhm.
line, the linebackers, so on and so forth. But anyways, you'd say, okay, so say I was doing DBs for the first 2 weeks. You
Yeah,
scout 5 players and write reports for each player. You know, their measurables. What was their combine measure, their 40 time, their shuttle, their height, weight. What school did they
yeah,
go to? And then you figure out what are their strengths and weaknesses, what can they do and what can't they do, and then what do you
mhm.
ultimately project them to be. So he would help me edit those. I mean, it was a lot more. It's a lot more in depth than what I'm doing at SMU. Because when I'm evaling a
Yeah,
kid on a huddle tape, I'm not gonna type out an entire
yeah,
report. You know, I'm just making a quick
yeah,
eval on them. This was a lot
yeah.
more in depth for the NFL players. It
Gotcha.
was a really cool experience, man, because NFL is definitely a possibility for me down the road if the
Yeah,
opportunity presents itself. I mean, the
yeah,
Chiefs, obviously, that's like my dream.
yeah, for sure.
Even to just start out as an intern there would be awesome at some point, but I'm just focusing on what I'm doing at SMU right now. And yeah, no,
Yeah,
Scouting Academy and the telemetry sports, it was a great experience. I recommend anybody that's trying to get into the business, get into personnel and scouting to do that.
yeah. So is this like is this in person? Is that this
No,
at home
it's
where you're like
remote. It's
quicker?
remote. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So you're just watching film on a computer and you're really just breaking down everything
Hmm.
possible. It
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah. It's all
that's
football, man. It's all NFL football.
yeah,
It was awesome.
yeah. Sick.
And like
That's
the
sick. And then
first
the
two
guy,
weeks was orientation, and he kind of is like he's like, okay, pick your favorite. Who's your favorite player in the NFL? Okay, watch like 5 games from him, and that for those
Mhm.
first 2 weeks was fun because I was just watching Mahomes, just watching him for
Yeah, that's sick. And then how long did that last? Was this like a
that
6 month
was
thing?
it's like 4 month thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did so when you were kind of transitioning, was SMU like you have to do this, or did you just go out and do this on your own?
No, yeah, yeah. So I started the scouting academy, I think a week after I joined SMU. So like it was
Gotcha.
pretty simultaneous, and they
Yeah.
they respected that, man. They encouraged it. They encourage us to do stuff like that because it makes us
Hmm.
better evaluators. So they knew that. I asked. I was like, "Hey, can I just do it here on the side? Like, can I do the scouting academy while I'm in office? You know, with the
Yeah.
staff?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, go ahead." So like the
That's
staff wants you to be better. They want you to strive for greatness.
mm,
And
yeah.
yeah, man, I do what I do at SMU, and then I take a few hours out of the day to focus on scouting.
No, that's it seems perfect because then you can just like you're detailing it in these like NFL film, and then you kind of not ease back, but you're like you said, you're doing a lot less detail for SMU that probably is helping you from that training that you're doing
Yeah,
simultaneously.
yeah, and like comparing the two, it's completely they're the same in the way that you're watching football play. Like these guys are football players, but
Mhm.
like it's
Yeah.
just so much more fine tuned. If I had to put it in like in the NFL,
Yeah.
and yeah, when you go back and watch high school and do an evaluation on high school, it's like man, this is a cakewalk. You know what I mean? Like, because NFL is like, man, this is top notch. This is really in depth stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Did you have any? I guess you mentioned did you have any mentors or kind of some major influences that were helping you out? You mentioned the guy from the Scouting Academy, but
Yeah,
any
so
other or
Dan
him?
Hatman, I'd put him up there. I'd put
Yeah, Dan.
obviously my father, man. When I called my dad and I told him I was gonna do this, make a career change, and the way he kind of his demeanor in the phone call, it wasn't like a hesitate. Like he wasn't like, oh man, like I don't know if this is a good idea. No, he was like, dude, go all in. Like this is it. I
Yeah.
know this is what you want to do. And like just by him saying that, that was massive. So I'd say definitely my
Hmm.
father. He's always been my hero. But then this is a podcaster, so he does a lot of NFL, college, golf. His name's John Middlecoff. Dude, I watch this guy every single day. He's super smart. He's hilarious. He makes the podcasts fun to watch,
Yeah.
and just the way he
What is he?
talks about football.
Is he breaking down? Is he breaking down film? You said.
Yeah, so no, he's not breaking down film. It's more of like hot takes and kind of like the media side of things.
Gotcha.
But he was a scout for the Eagles. So he has so much value and just information in his head that is useful. And he's just, yeah, like I said, he's just a funny guy, a guy that you
Yeah.
can sit back and just listen to casually whether you're in the car, whether you're at home, got some free time. Definitely recommend John Middlecoff for sure.
Yeah. Definitely will be watching him or listening to him soon. He's put me on, so excited to excited to get on that, especially for long car rides or whatever. But kind of last question is, what advice do you have for someone if they're wanting to go your route and they want to be like a director of player personnel or kind of go into what you're doing or just want to start out where you were? What advice would you give to a college kid or a recent grad?
Yeah, I would say you have to love it. You gotta love it, man. Because if you don't love it, you're gonna wake up every day and you're like, oh, nah, you gotta
Yeah.
wake up and you gotta jump out of bed and be like, man, I want to go do this. This isn't just a job.
Yeah.
This is like my life. This is my
Yeah.
dream. Those are the guys that really strive. You can still get in the business without loving it and without having it your dream, but it just makes it so much more fun and so much more. You just do better too when you love it. You don't burn out.
Yeah.
You don't burn out. You could do that. I could do this for hours, dude, and I'd be fine. Like, whereas what I was doing with the freight line company, I was like, gosh, another hour of this. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you just see those. You see those people that are just in the position that you die to be in, and it just looks like they don't care. And you're like, dude, I'd kill to be in that spot right
Yeah,
now.
dude. That's another thing too, is like I don't want to take it for granted,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
become
know exactly.
complacent.
For sure. And it's like, I mean, me being an intern in KU athletics, it was like, dude, this is like a dream of mine growing up watching KU basketball and football. And now I get to be in Allen Fieldhouse every day. It's like I didn't take it for granted at all. And
Dude.
it's like people would kill to be in my position.
Yeah, bro. Can you talk a little bit about that and just kind of like your journey and everything?
Yeah, no. So, I started out my sophomore year in college. I was a sport management major. I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to immerse myself in kind of the athletic department. I got to get in there somehow, some way in the door, just get in. And so I saw this advertisement for a student ambassador worker, and I was like, "That's interesting." And it's the promo said, "Come work for KU Athletics for game days, 3-4 hours of the day. Like it'll be fun. It's your way in." So I was like, "Oh, for sure. I'm taking that. I'm 100%." I applied, had one interview, and they loved me, and they're like, "Let's go. Let's get you in." The job was pretty much I was at each Allen Fieldhouse, for example, has 5 hospitality spots around the arena. So I was in charge of one of them, and I was the one greeting like the donors that came in and kind of in that hospitality room. So I was in or I was at that door, greeting them in, stamping them in, checking them off the list. And as little as it sounds, I mean, I got to talk to a lot of the donors, and it was great connections and great people that I was working with. And there was about 10 of us student workers, so that was fun. Like I said, only game days, so you're there for 3-4 hours, and you're done after halftime. So once halftime ends and they all leave the hospitality room again, you're good to go. And so that was easy. You can go watch the second half of a game in Allen
Yeah.
Fieldhouse. I mean, you get the best of both worlds. You're working, and then you get to watch the second half.
Yeah, dude,
So
that's awesome.
I enjoyed. I know. So all the student workers, we'd all just go watch after. But then I was like, this is good. I mean, it's 3 hours of work, but I want to continue. I want to continue working in athletics. And so I reached out to the manager or the supervisors, and this is all in development. So I'm sure you guys call it the same thing, development, which is like donor relations and
Yeah, yeah,
alumni. Yeah, so there's different names for it at each university, but I reached out to them and I was like, "Hey, I know you guys have interns for a semester. How do I get to be one of those?" And luckily, they loved me and they said, "Yeah, we'll get you interviewed for the spring of my senior year." So I interviewed for that and I had fortunately got the position, and so it was a blast. And I started out it's an 8 to 5 every day in the office. You're kind of just grinding. You're just seeing what people need, what like the major gift officers or what associate athletic directors need, and you're kind of that go-to guy. And whether that's running out for a coffee like an intern does, or you're writing a thank you note that says Travis Goff, who's our athletic director. It was a lot of in between and a lot of stuff going on, but then we did a lot of projects too. We did a lot of events on campus. We had a first pitch baseball banquet, which I don't know if you caught up with our baseball team. We were actually super good this year, so that was very helpful. That banquet was a huge success. So it was before the season. You invite the donors, invite the family of students or the players.
yeah.
And we kind of just set all that stuff up. And yeah, we were just in charge of setting up donor relation events or alumni events. 75th, I think we had a 75th anniversary of track and field. So we were kind of setting that all up and getting the people to come back and speak. So it was kind of just grind and see what your next project was. I enjoyed every second of it, and I want to continue to be in development and on that donor relations side because I'd like to think I'm a people
It's a
person.
perfect time for it now too. It's just with
I
all the
know.
money, you know.
I know you're seeing these. I mean, we were in charge of the checks.
Yeah,
This is
man.
crazy.
No
Like I'm
better
holding
time.
I'm physically holding a check that was 5, 6 figures, and just it's
Yeah,
just
dude,
insane. And
that's crazy.
the money's wild. I got to meet crazy. I mean, I got to put like my face to a name and just high level donors that are our top dogs, like David Booth, who our football stadium's named after. I got to talk to him for 5 minutes at an event, and it's just crazy who you'll see walk in the door. And it's like I mentioned in another podcast, I was like, one day you're doing thank you notes, and you're like, what am I doing? And the next day you're talking to a guy whose net worth is billions.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's
That's crazy.
college athletics is like easily the craziest thing you can
Yeah.
get into.
And it's
I
the
feel
best time. It's the absolute best time to be in college athletics. Like, there's just no way,
Mhm.
and it's only going to get
Yeah.
better. It's only going to get
Yeah,
more.
it's
The
only
popularity is only going to go up.
yeah, exactly. And the money's just gonna go up,
Mhm.
and like fortune and fame of it too.
Oh, the
So
revenue sharing, the NIL, the collectives. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's wild. It's a wild time. And yeah, dude, that's a cool
it's
story. I'm happy for you, man. And I know
thanks.
you're gonna be great. And yeah, just keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing.
Sweet. I appreciate it,
Yeah.
man. And if you're ever back in KC, let's grab a beer or something.
Oh, 100%. I'll be back. I
Yeah.
won't be. I'm going. I'm going to the Dallas at Kansas City, or the Kansas City at Dallas game for Thanksgiving. So I won't be back for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
But I think around Christmas I'll be back. But yeah, for sure, man. We'll have to link up,
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Ken, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for hopping on and taking the time for me today.
dude. 100%. Anytime.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later. Thank you so much.
All right. See ya.
Appreciate it.